Clayton is asleep with the $20 super chat says, just popping in to say what's up, y'all. New game song is cool. Hit Boy is my highlight. Since what is it? Pete's birthday. I've been bumping Soul Survivor heavy. Cheers and blessings to you all, to you too.
Truly yours, 98.
Well, you know how I feel about Pete Rock. Pete Rock.
I've been on Truly Yours 98 for a minute now. I've been playing that song like every week for about a month now.
You know what? You know the song that I play for Pete Rock over and over and over and over again. It's on Main Ingredient. Escapism. That shit is crazy.
You know where I'm going.
Beautiful.
You know where I'm going, right?
Where's that?
The saga begins. My eyes are photography lens. Properly push pins and show quality gems. The horrors be grim, but yo, maybe tomorrow we win if we follow the trends and keep track of the dollars we spend. What'd he say? I want lottery ends. Plus mahogany friends. Plus mahogany skins. Plus mahogany bins. Like, yeah, it's the God in Pete Rock. It's how about this? I didn't grow up in Rakim's era. When I heard the saga begins, I was like, this is why they call him the greatest MC of all time. It was the modern day evidence.
Yeah.
Pete Rock supplied Rakim with the modern day evidence for our era to be the greatest MC of all time. It's the saga begins. It's the best record on the 18th letter. Listen to what I'm saying. It's the best record on the 18th letter, and there are 3 DJ Premier produced tracks on there, and it's the best.
You know, song. I've always thought that Pete Rock, in my personal opinion, sonically, like I was more drawn to his production than Premier. Not to say who's better or whatever. Premier's resume it speaks for itself. But I feel like I wish that Pete Rock would have gotten some of the placements that Premier was able to get in that era, you know? And I think that a lot of people missed out on some great tracks for whatever reason that Pete Rock wasn't involved in. Because every time Pete showed up, he showed up. Like, even on that Rod Digger album, that like his track on there is crazy. Like, every time he showed up, True Master is one of the most underrated beats in hip-hop history. Period.
I can't even... You want to know what it is? When that beat comes on, it's a moment. Like when the beat drops, like all the stuff, all the mixing and the drops and like all the loops and stuff, but when the beat drops and that comes in, your highness, it's like, you want to know what it is? It's like you hear it and it's like, that's what hip hop is supposed to sound like. Yeah. That's what it is, Mike. When you hear that beat drop, and you hear that come in on that drop, you're like, this is what rap sound like. That's what it is with that record. True Master's a rap record, and Pete Rock got as many, like, rap records like anybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, how about this? You're right about the placement things. I didn't always agree with you about the Primo and the placement thing, except for the 18th letter is proof positive of the placement thing, because here's what I know. First of all, Guess Who's Back was produced by Clark Kent. Well, Clark Kent is a year removed from doing Reasonable Doubt for Jay. So he's buzzing. Okay? Because Jay did Reasonable Doubt in 96. Clark Kent had a major part in putting that together. Right? So he gets the first single placement. But Mike, the underground single that they dropped, that's where you're right about Primo getting the placements, because it's been a long time. As much as I love It's Been a Long Time. And it's a great record. It's an all-time great Primo record. It's an all-time great Rakim record. It's not The Saga Begins. And they should have dropped The Saga Begins. And they didn't drop The Saga Begins because Pete Rock did The Saga Begins and Primo did It's Been a Long Time. And we're rolling with Primo in 97.
Yeah, I mean, Primo had the hot hand.
But hold on, but not fair to Rakim's legacy, because I swear if they would have put The Saga Begins out on the circuit the way they just put It's Been a Long Time out, the standing of that record would be so much higher all time. It's a beautiful record.
Imagine if Pete Rock would have been able to get on Volume 1, Life After Death, It Was Written. I mean, we see what he did on Illmatic. Like, I mean, come on.
No, I mean, so hold on. So all jokes aside, so Primo got 3 tracks on Illmatic. Okay, he's got 1 track on It Was Written. He's got 2 tracks on I Am. On Biggie's side, he's got 1 track on Ready to Die. He's got 2 tracks on Life After Death. Mike, in Jay's case, on Reasonable Doubt, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, He's got 2 on Reasonable Doubt and 3 on Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off Volume 2. Volume 2 starts off with a primo beat after the intro.
Imagine if Pete gets on any of those records.
Hold on. I think people
allegedly.
Hold on. Jay's biggest selling album starts off with what?
Primo. Primo's that hip hop, man.
Hold on. How Jay's second album start off, Mike?
Oh, the second one? That starts off with Primo, 1,000,001. I was
Hello.
just playing that the other
we want to talk about some placements.
Yeah.
We'll talk about placements. He got placed on Illmatic. It was written. Ready to Die. Life After Death. Volume 1, Volume 2, Reasonable Doubt.
Well, some people say.
Pete Rock is only on Illmatic. Pete Rock is only on Illmatic.
I say some people say because, I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. I don't know any, real backing on this. But some people say that Pete Rock made Juicy and somebody else got credit for it. So some people say. DJ Bruce Almighty says people are sleeping on Tory Lanez. He's been better than Drake for the last 5 years, rap and R&B. I think he is a better rapper and singer than Drake. I've always thought that. But hey, maybe that's me hating.
Not a songmaker, but we don't know what type of songmaker Drake is without Quentin Miller anymore.
But we do know that, let's just keep it a buck. Tory Lanez will take your whole freestyle too. That happened.
I was about to say, how original is... Okay, yeah, go ahead.
LP with Super Chat says, Mecca is one of the best produced ever. I think Main Ingredient's one of the best produced ever.
Mike's a Main Ingredient guy. Mm-hmm.
I do think that Trouble T. Roy is one of the best produced hip-hop records ever. It shines above everything of its era, in my opinion. And
he just has, he has that dope, rare stuff. Like I told you, that Smoke Dizzy and Pete Rock album, Don't Smoke Rock, some of his best beats are on there.
Yeah, the album that he did with Skyzoo, like Pete Rock is giving work, man, and everybody's getting it. And I love producers like that. And that was one of the reasons why, in that Neptunes and Timbaland conversation, I always favored the Neptunes because they would give heat to anybody. With Timbaland, you could tell, and he said this himself. I'm not just making this up.
No,
I think he said in Source Magazine, he gives his A-side beats to this artist, he gives his B-side beats to this person, and C-list beats to this level of artist or whatever.
I mean, no, he went a step further even later on and was pretty much like, well, I'm so major right now that really Jay's the only rap artist that can come get a track for me right now. I was thinking to myself when he said that, it's like, nigga, you ain't made no great hip-hop shit like that to be saying that. Now go produce Justin Timberlake's album and shut the fuck up.
Everybody's saying Mike's tripping. What did I say? I didn't even think I even said anything. Okay, well, I've heard the Neptunes give some heat to Family and Roscoe P. Cold Chain. And I like those artists, by the way. But again, a lot of them Neptune tracks that were crazy, even on the first Clips album, these are tracks that will never see the light of day. And they, and they were good with that. And even on the R&B end, one of my favorite Neptune produced tracks of that era was their artist. Her name was Latrell. The song was called House Party. I love that beat.
Wow.
They could have put that track on anybody. You know what I'm saying? That track could have went to Britney
That's how you
Spears.
feel? They could have put that track on anybody?
No, I'm just saying, no, not like that. The fact that they gave a great track to a
home thing, no, it's like, oh, well, imagine if Primo would have gave them beats to somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gave a dope track to an emerging artist, as you're supposed to. But certain producers would be like, oh, no, you're not getting that. That's going to Justin, or that's going to Britney. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think, hold on. First of all, if you're in a group, that's how it should work. I can remember Havoc talking about, he was like, dudes be calling me, asking me for a Shook Ones or a Hell on Earth or a Quiet Storm. He's like, I'm giving that shit to P. Damn right you are.
Right.
You better. Just like I told you.
Well, that's different. When you're in a group,
no.
You
the
want
to talk
first.
About, hold on. So we talked about the whole Nas RZA thing, and it's like, oh, you making Liquid Swords and Purple Tape at the same time. I want you to keep in mind that it's Dirty's album is coming out before both of these albums. He might have been doing some of that too. Because that would make sense. Because listen to what I'm saying.
That was all 95.
Right. Well, listen, the GZA wrote most of Return to the 36 Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense that after Method Man blows and is on tour, you know what I'm saying, and is starting to make his rounds with Jizza, RZA, Dirt, the original trio are sitting around making Dirt's album and finishing up.
Right.
And go into Ray
All in
and
together
Ghost
now,
mode.
right? That's the name of the group.
Look, and go into Ray and Ghost mode. But Jizza's still chilling around and starts making his project. And then who's coming back from tour while Jizza's finishing up his project? Oh, well, it's Method Man. And you have things like Shadowboxing and Living in the World Today and Gold. Yeah. That's where you can hear Meth coming back from tour, reinvigorated, because he's been gone, technically, kind of, but the Clan has won big. Like, he's the star, but music-wise, they've won big, and he comes back in on the Purple Tape and Liquid Swords and sews them up. Like, he is the difference in the Purple Tape and Liquid Swords. People need to understand that. Method Man's the difference.
The Truest, with the super chat, says, better be... What is that? Better be ready to discuss DMIZ and Adrenaline Rush. For real. KD with the super chat says, Tory Lane doesn't get enough props, especially how he body bagged Joyner and Don Q so effortlessly. Those disses were incredible. His pen is sharp. Now, I do remember that, and you're right. Those are one of those moments that people just don't talk about in hip-hop like that. What I would want to know, though, like during that process when it came to RZA, speaking about who the beats go to, how was RZA determining that, when he was crafting? It was like you said, you got All In Together now, which is Jizza, RZA, and Old Dirty. They're all together working on Liquid Swords and Dirty's album, I would imagine. More so Dirty's album, because Jizza was writing for Dirty. And then you got, Only Built for Cuban Links on the way. So when you're making a beat at that point, who gets it and how and why? I guess it depends on who's there.
That's what I think is so fascinating about. So you got to keep in mind, when all this is going on, Ghost is the odd man out.
Yeah.
But Ghost is watching all of these. That's why he feels the way he feels about Iron Man, because if you go listen to the beats on Return to the 36 and the Purple Tape and Liquid Swords, well, Ghost is there watching all of that. And you find out from the documentary, well, Ghost was actually RZA's roommate. So he's probably the main guy watching these beats get made.
True.
And so he's probably feeling shortchanged after Iron Man. And I can't blame him, because as much as I love the beats on Iron Man, I'm not messing with the beats on Liquid Swords and Purple Tape. Not at their peak. Like, what's the best beat on Iron Man?
The best beat on Iron Man, in my personal opinion, is Daytona 500.
I think it's Iron Maiden.
Okay.
But Daytona 500 is second to me, right there. I know a lot of people like Fish. I'm like, well, Fish is True Master.
What about Cam-A?
I love Cam-A. I don't think it's the...
Mad Max in the super chat says, Tory ain't body Don Q. You gave more credit because he was a singer, LOL. Tory ain't no Drake. Tory is a karaoke machine.
But hold on. But listen to this. Listen to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure if Iron Maiden and Daytona 500 even beat-wise make the Purple Tape or Liquid Swords and it's the best beats on Iron Man? You feel what I'm saying? Where does Iron Maiden... No. They make it on there, but it might not be top 5. Okay. Yeah. So how about this? Name the beats on the Purple Tape that are better than Daytona 500, that are not better than Daytona 500.
Somebody said Black Jesus. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Name the beats on the Purple Tape that you think Daytona 500 are better than. Like, what beats are better? I mean, not better. Like the track song, you're like, well, Daytona 500's got a better beat than that, Coop, on the Purple Tape and Liquid Swords. Like, what beats? Because I can only think of maybe 2 or 3 on each one. And that's probably the best beat on Iron.
When I say this stuff, it's going to sound like I'm saying these beats ain't crazy. Even though I think Guillotine is a dope-ass beat, I still think Daytona 500 is better.
No, you're tripping right now. I want to let you know that you're tripping.
No, I mean, I think...
Before the people tell you, you're buggy.
It's hard to get past these songs, man. The way that they're rapping on these songs.
You're not going to win the Guillotine Arbit, because the Guillotine Arbit is that Wu-Tang moment. Because you hear the Guillotine beat on to Cal.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, and you get excited. And then the beat cuts off, and you're like, what the fuck? Right. And then it comes back on the Purple Tape, and you're like, ooh. And then Inspector Deck comes in, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, right. Purple Tape's tough, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna tell you the beats that I think the Daytona 500 is better than on the Purple Tape because it's not a lot.
Let's see.
The Can It Be Also Simple
Yep, I was gonna say
remix.
that too.
It's got a better beat than that, and it's a better beat than Wisdom Body.
Yeah, of course, I was
Those are
gonna
the
say
only
that
two,
too.
Mike.
I
Those are the
honestly
only two.
I
You
think
think it's better than
Knuckleheads.
Spot Rushers?
I think Knuckleheads. Not, I don't know
Ooh, I don't know about Knuckleheads, Mike. Knuckleheads got You God to deliver the best verse. Like it's You God's best verse.
No. He killed it, but I still think Daytona 500's versus.
I'll give you Knuckleheads. So, like I said, 2 to 3 beats. We just named them.
I
What
think
about
that
Liquid Swords?
Liquid Swords. It's a few beats on there that it's better than on that.
I don't think so. I think Gold.
You're not a big fan of Gold. I mean, I agree with you on Gold, but I like
I
Gold.
think Gold's the weakest song on Liquid Swords.
Really?
Yes, because it is. As a matter of fact, it's damn near the only song on there that's not classic in some sort of way. Think about it. Liquid Swords, Duel of the Iron Mike, Living in the World Today, Cold World, Labels, Fourth Chamber, Shadowboxing, Killer Hills 10304. Am I missing a song that's not classic?
You know
here?
what? I'm going to go the other way with you on
Investigative
this, right?
Reports?
I think that the beats that are better than Daytona 500 on this album are Fourth Chamber, Shadowboxing. And after that, we can have conversations about the rest of them.
Okay, so we feel totally differently about the production that's being exhibited on Liquid Swords because I feel like the actual Liquid Swords track might be one of RZA's finest moments as a producer just because of the originality involved. Like Duel of the Iron Mike is classic Wu-Tang shit. Like Duel of the Iron Mike, beat-wise, sounds like something that could have been on Enter the 36 Chambers. I mean that in a high quality regarding kind of way. You know?
No,
living
I
in
agree.
The world today,
The production,
Living in the World Today, I remember this. That was on mixtapes and on instrumental beat CDs for cats to freestyle to because the beat was like that. That was one of those cypher beats.
Yeah, man. This production. And you know what?
Cold
I agree
World
with
taking
you.
the Stevie Wonder flip. Like, come on. They took the Stevie Wonder thing and flipped it. Labels, Tommy ain't my motherfucking... You know what?
But see, just the
Beat the Labels
mood
isn't
of
good.
Cold World.
The
It's
Beat
like,
the Labels. No. The Beat the Labels. I'll give you the Beat the Labels too. Labels and Gold, beat-wise. Maybe Cold World, Mike, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the originality is so chilling. Though,
I got
Mike.
you. Yeah, I got you. The originality, adds a lot to it. I guess I'm looking at it as if like I'm in the studio and I hear these tracks, I'm probably gonna pick the Daytona 500 track over a few of these.
No, I get what you're saying. You're just talking inherently.
Yeah,
but there's something about you want to know. That's what's so beautiful about Liquid Swords. It's like you hear the beat and you're like, ooh. You're like, what are they going to do with that? And then you hear what they do with it. You're like, oh, they're geniuses. Okay.
But overall, I mean, you're completely right. Like, Ghost, as great as Iron Man is, when you look at what those albums produced on a production level, yeah, he did kind of get the short end of that.
That's what I'm saying. Like Poisonous Darts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marvel. Like, okay. Like, but, it ain't. Yeah.